Hello, if you don't know me yet, my name is Franz. Some people like to call me the philosopher. I'm all about helping people see deeper and understand reality, what's around them and in them better so that they can live in authenticity and expression. So I've been wanted to do these videos for a while in the beginning because I was pissed about a couple of things, but now I'm in a better space, so it's going to be more informative. So first, before getting to the subject of the struggles of being too smart, I want to share my views on intelligence so that people don't think I'm just an arrogant dude bragging about how superior he think he is. Certain notions uh, uh, I've always felt have to be redefined, because they undermine what people have. Sometimes they are just subjective. They are based on people's preferences and not based on how things actually are, actually how things are actually structured, how they work. So intelligence is one of those notions that I think needs to be redefined. We have usually this narrow definition of intelligence as the ability to perform certain tasks, to understand certain things, to excel in certain domains that are valued by society. It's all about what society values and not uh, what comes out of people. You know, and so because of that, we kind of put pressure to individual to conform to a certain model rather than valuing them for what they are and giving them all the chances to give the best of it, to serve society with their talents, their personalities, you know. So we value more the scientists, the engineers, the maybe also the philosopher, but those who build buildings, those who dance, those who sing sometimes are not as much valued. They are not deemed as being intelligent. But I believe that intelligence comes in many forms, and we have to value all the different forms of intelligence there is, and give to everyone what they need to succeed, to give the best. So the people who dance, the people who run, and all those things, all those activities are controlled still by the same brain. So I don't know why when someone does science we consider them intelligent, but when someone dances we don't consider them as intelligent, you know. And yeah, I think it's actually immature not to value the things that we need, because we need all of those things. We need to be entertained. And now it comes back to my memory a day when I was at university with my guitar, and one guy was like, "What are you doing with this? You are an engineer." And the thing that shocked me is that this guy likes to listen to music. How does it look down? Does he look down on music, on the idea of being a musician, when he consumes so much music? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We need to value the things that we need, and be able to appreciate the talents that everyone has. So there was a time when I wanted to find out about what other people have researched and thought about intelligence, and I felt upon the theory of multiple intelligence says by Howard Gardner. And yeah, I found it to be pretty accurate. Yeah, he proposed, I think, 8 different forms of intelligence: logical, mathematical, uh, which uh, where I think is my greatest strength. Kinesthetic intelligence, which is not really my thing, for the people who dance, who drive well, and all these kind of things. Um, Spatial intelligence, and a lot of other things. I don't have all those things in mind, but if you're interested, you can go and have a look at it. It's really interesting, a good perspective. I think that society needs to really implement and catch up with, integrate. So now that this is out of the way, what are the struggles that comes with being too smart? Well, it depends on the environment, but usually one thing that happens when you really go too fast, when you go way too fast, you easily find yourself far from other people. You easily find yourself alone. You really easily find yourself disconnected. You know, one thing that happens sometimes in when I discuss with people or debate with people is that sometimes they will give certain arguments, but I would see that, well, the logic is flawed. But the thing is that they are so convinced that no, what I'm saying is so right, it all lines up and stuff, but and me trying to explain to them that it's not the case, it would be like showing that what they see as red is not red. And sometimes I just don't know how to do that, so I just keep quiet. And the person will think maybe that they have convinced me, but they are the teachers that I don't know how to explain to them that their thinking is wrong, you know. And something that often happens is that people, because sometimes they would see that they would tell me things and I wouldn't change my mind, they would automatically think that this boy is stubborn. They would never think that, okay, maybe, well, maybe he sees maybe things that I don't see. And actually, there are people who don't want to admit that, they don't want to consider this possibility that I see things that they don't, because in some people there is that deep belief that we are all the same, you know, at some point. Some people kind of think that we all have the same intelligence, the same quantity. They don't think also about intelligence in terms of different categories, that each one is really better at certain things, you know. And when it comes to the understanding of the world, of reality, of what is best for ourselves, people tend to think that we all have the same ability, you know. Nobody can tell me better than me what I need and stuff, but it's not true. It's not true. We are complementary as human beings, you know. There are people who are better at raising children, and you would do well by asking them advices, and they will help you raise your children better. There are people who are better at directing themselves through life, you know, life coaches. And yeah, you can ask them for advice and you will benefit from it, you know, etc. But when you are dealing with people who have that conviction that they are supposed to have the same ability to understand things as you, and you happen to be too smart, it's a struggle. It's a struggle. And for me, I've been really annoyed by always people wanting me to operate at their same level of understanding. People thinking that what they have understood about life is all there is. You know, there is nothing beyond that. There is nothing to be added to that. And me seeing deeper, understanding also other perspectives, other things, you know, it just creates conflict, you know. And the issue is that when you are wired to actually help people understand better the world and succeed better at what they do, it becomes difficult when they don't want to receive from you, but instead they want you to perform the same way as them, to be more good at completing tasks than good at understanding concepts, you know, because that's one thing that maybe that sets me apart. I'm not really always good at getting things done, but understanding how things work, yeah, I'm good at that, you know. But when you are around people who feel like they know it all, they know enough, they don't need to receive from you, you feel useless. You become like useless, because all they want is like get a job, do this and do that. So and one other thing that also I've seen people doing a lot is that using simple reasonings to solve complex problems. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's not because your line of thought is very clear and simple that it is true. It's not. Sometimes things are more complex. There are more different parameters involved that you must be able to locate and know where this one fits, where this other one fits, and how they link up together, you know, and to understand things, you know. And that's something really that I see a lot, people using simple logic to understand problems that are more complex than that, you know. So now, uh, when it comes to achieving success, people think that the more intelligent you are, the more you will have success and stuff. But no, the people who are the most intelligent may not always be the one you think. They may not always go straight to university and succeed and get a great job, have a lot of money. No. The thing is, when you are wired to really, really understand things deeply, one thing that is associated with that is that you don't, you cannot be comfortable in routine. You cannot be comfortable doing the same thing that you already understand. You have to go deeper, you have to go further, you know. If you have understood something, uh, the concept, really the foundation, because you always go deep, you're not interested in dwelling on it anymore unless you have something to achieve. You have a goal, something you need to create, something you want to do. Otherwise you're just not interested anymore, you know. So a lot of people have never understood, don't still struggle to understand why I didn't finish university. I was bored. I was bored of doing something, of learning something that I had already understood the concept and how it all works out. You know, I was bored and I wasn't using the knowledge. So I had a lot more fun at work. When I was working in IT, I was doing system administration, and I was starting to build my own software. You know, I was solving real problems. That was much more interesting than studying stuff that I wasn't using. Because at first it was good in the beginning when it was new. I had good marks in mathematics. I even did a 92%, you know, highest mark. But after that, once it wasn't new anymore, and actually there was a man who asked me the question, are you this type of guy who is very brilliant and who going to start studying in a field brilliantly, and then at some point he's going to stop and say that it doesn't interest him anymore? And I was like, what is that? I felt like, no, I'm not that brilliant. And I don't think I'm that kind of person who doesn't finish. And I didn't want to be someone who doesn't finish because it's scary. You wondering like, but if you never finish something you start, how are you going to make a living and stuff? You know, so I told him, no, I'm not like that. But in the end, I didn't finish university. Shame. But yeah, that's a little bit of that. I don't want to be too long. I think I will stop here. But it's just like, appreciate who you are, what you can take from it. Appreciate you who you are, and learn to understand other people. Things are not always as simple that as they appear. So that's it. Bye.